Before I begin, I have to thank Melissa Lowe and Jason from Atomic Video. It's amazing what good editing on a film will do. I don't know how many of you have ever been followed around all day by a camera, but I found it a very strange experience. The crew told me just relax, be natural, do what you always do. So I asked them, you want me to walk around picking up garbage? I think once they captured the footage of me being me, they decided maybe it was a little weird after all, watching someone walk around plumping cushion and straightening chairs with a grin on their face. I guess I do smile a lot. Thank God they didn't follow me to the Costco parking lot. I can really go to town cleaning up that place. Obsessing over every little detail, I can't help it. At this point, it's baked into my DNA. I'm the general manager of a private club, and I've been there over 25 years. It's what I know. Which is why it's such an honor to be accepting the chairmanship of the organization that has supported me every step of the way and has made me the manager I am today. Before I go on, I have to thank my incredible team at Beach Point for their patience and tireless energy. You saw most of them in the video: Sarah, Logan, Ryan Chen, Peter, Kirsten, Eric, Tracy, Heather, and Samantha. They have given me constant support and have always stepped up in my absence, and I couldn't run the club without them. I'd also like to thank the Metropolitan Board, Foundation, and Chapter, as well as the neighboring chapters for their decades of support, as well as Burt Ward and the many CMA past presidents who inspired and encouraged me to do this. Thanks, of course, to Bobby Crafassi and the 2018 CMA Board for their diligent work last year, and to Jeff Morgan for not only his unwavering leadership as CEO, but now, because of the newly passed bylaw, as president too. It'll probably be one of a few laws passed in the DC area this year, but no complaints here. It's given us a great president. I've been told I'm young to be accepting this position, which my team will laugh about because as far as they're concerned, I'm old. Only recently, a young manager said to me, Randy, you don't need to keep putting up those signs reminding us about daylight savings. Our phones automatically update. I also got frustrated with that same employee when he didn't watch a DVD I gave him. He told me, Randy, none of my devices play DVDs. But let me assure you, when I was young and cool, or at least young, I was ahead of the curve on the one thing that really mattered, and that's why I'm standing here. I knew before I even left college that within the world of hospitality, a career in private club management would provide an extraordinary opportunity to learn and grow in no way a hotel or restaurant could match. After I graduated and became a professional member of the Club Management Association of America, I knew it would open the door to the kind of professional fulfillment my friends could have only dreamed about. That's why I pushed so hard for them to take me at Beach Point when there wasn't even a position. I knew I was onto something special. This blind passion for the private club world helped when I met my future boss, the infatigable Eric Kaspers. Eric was trained in Europe, where I think management by intimidation was still fashionable. When Eric plumped a cushion, he wasn't necessarily smiling about it, but I owe him a huge debt for taking me under his wing and mentoring me. He taught me so much, and he encouraged my participation in CMA right from the start. His activity in CMA alone was proof enough of its value. And the 5 years I spent under Eric's leadership, over the hundreds of workshops and conferences I've attended, the 120 interns I've trained, and the thousands of mint wrappers I've picked up, I can say with the absolute truth, I've constantly been challenged, inspired, and enriched by this amazing community. It's the community and the people in that I really want to talk about today. Because the community is what makes what we do unique and will push us forward into the future if we continue to nurture it the right way. The members of the clubs we work in, they have a sense of community, but their understanding of it is skewed to the idea of recreation, exclusivity, privacy, familiarity, and luxury. The community I'm talking about is the community we create for our employees and the community we build at CMAA. It's about connections, shared goals, collaboration, challenge, and motivation. This kind of community is no better understood by our current crop of student members and interns. The millennials and the Gen Zers among us know better than anyone the value of community, but it's up to the old timers at the top to make sure that they are given everything they need to feel they belong here. We want the best minds and the brightest stars to stay with us. So it's up to us to show them that this community is the real deal, that joining our community will connect them to the thousands of others just like them. It will give them something meaningful to believe in, not just in their personal lives, but in their professional lives. And it'll never end up on an island with FEMA tents and soggy cheese sandwiches. At Beach Point, our entire executive team are graduates of our internship program. Sarah, 14 years, Logan, 10 years, Ryan, 5, and Chen, now 2. So every day I'm reminded how important this is. That's why the first thing on my agenda will be the Student Development Task Force. As a former student member of CMAA, this initiative is near and dear to me. I remember how envious of me my roommates at college were. While they crammed for their calculus and physics tests for their engineering degrees, I was off doing wine tastings. I remember how much I loved my course of study, how much I loved and revered my teachers, like the legendary Phil McGurk at Stout. But we have to make sure that club management is taught and exposed in a way that still attracts the most capable and passionate students and keeps them interested. That's what this task force will aim to do. The second goal on my list is to create more awareness of the Club Resource Center. A subscription-based program, the Resource Center seamlessly integrates with any club, making the training of staff easy and efficient with minimal financial and time investment. There's nothing it doesn't offer. From courses in the kitchen, bar, and dining room, to maintenance, technology, HR in both Spanish and English, and sports and rec. It'll teach staffers everything like how to deal with a member when they say their veal chop tastes like meat, or how to use a fire extinguisher, and even how to deal with sexual harassment. Taking advantage of the Resource Center doesn't just streamline staff training, it tracks progress by providing accurate reports to each user. It also contains a resource library and annual survey reports where you'll find everything from job descriptions to membership marketing, social media booklets, and accounting and government's best practices, just to name a few. I can't encourage the managers among you enough to subscribe. Planning for CMA's future is as much about focusing on the students as it is looking towards and putting in place a sensible and strategic plan. But this idea of community will fuel its success. Member feedback is critical, so I want to encourage you to answer your surveys, to talk to national and chapter leaders, and to either personally attend or get chapter representatives to September's LLC in Charlotte. I've heard amazing things about Charlotte. It has something for everyone: museums, music, great food, hiking, artisanal beer, and of course, NASCAR. As I step into this long-coveted role as chair, and we look to the future, I'm thrilled to be supporting Jeff and his amazing CMA team. Kim, Dr. Jason, Seth, Chris, and Jason, I'm excited to stand with you and your staff when we work on achieving the 2019 goals. You know by now I grew up on a farm in Wisconsin. My parents told me not to go into farming. They told me it's long hours, you have to work nights, weekends, and holidays. So I went to club management, where it's long hours and you have to work nights, weekends, and holidays. However, my parents also taught me, if you love what you do, it's never really work anyways. I don't have children of my own yet, but to my family at Beach Point, to the next generation of CMA, I can only say, do this. Being a general manager and being a part of CMA has been my pride and joy. I'm thankful to everyone who helped put me here to lead you this next year. I'll do it with every inch of my heart and soul, and I'll pay attention to every little detail. Thank you very much.